Energy light is damaging to the tissues of our eyes. Also, blue light is neurostimulatory. And why I was thinking it'd be a good idea to make glasses, like clear glasses that are just blue light, that don't have any correction or anything, is so many of us are spending our time looking at a laptop, looking at whatever it might be, in different devices, electronic devices before we go to sleep. And so we don't want that stimulatory effect of blue light. So I was thinking someone creative should go out and make a pair of glasses that all it is a blue light filter. So at least if we're on those devices, we're filtering out the blue light. And many devices now have a blue light filter setting. So you go to the settings on your phone, go to the display settings on your phone, and most devices, I know that mine, I don't use an iPhone, I use the other technology, but mine does have a setting that is a blue light filter.
Absolutely. By the way, we've turned the page to another hour. Andrew Lessman is here. We have an abbreviated look at our today's special, which is overwhelmingly ahead of expectations. That's why it's going to be an abbreviated look at the end of this hour.
Very end of this hour.
So this gives us time to speak about some other fun things,
We'll speak about this briefly. Back in April, we briefly introduced our Sucress. We briefly introduced Soleil, our sunscreen. And Sucress was a product like our Soleil. I said that even if it's a great product, it might only get like 3-star reviews at that, because even if a third of the people love it, but a third of the people don't give it 1 star, it's hard to have more than a 3-star average. I started off talking about how our Stevia is the finest, cleanest Stevia you're going to find anywhere in the world, and that our sweetener, and these sweeteners are all, of course, what are they all designed to do? The NutraSweet, whatever the different names of the various sweeteners are, they're all designed to replace sugar.
Sure.
They're sugar replacements, sugar substitutes. That's what they're called as general products. The irony is that all of those products, all of those sweeteners, whether they're natural or whether they're artificial ones, they all contain a sugar or a carbohydrate or sugar alcohol. And there's other issues I don't like about sugar alcohols. But ours is unique. It costs much more to do this, but ours is unique that instead of using sugar, we use a building block of protein. We use glycine. And I just happen to remember back from our first children's vitamin from 40 years ago, we used glycine as a sweetener in the children's vitamin because I wouldn't use an artificial sweetener and I wouldn't use sugar. Kids didn't need either of those things. So we gave a simple, although it was very expensive, a simple amino acid. So turn the clock forward 40 years later, we combined our unique stevia extract, the best stevia you're going to find, with this amino acid, and we have the most remarkable natural sweetener. I'm even salivating as I talk about it, because I'm not someone who likes sweeteners, but this is completely unique. Also, it's much higher potency than the others, so use less. I think some of the folks who happen to not give it a great review, I think they used it at the same levels of a typical sweetener.
You can't.
And it gets too strong. So, but again, if you look at the product, I think about 70 or 75% of the reviews are 5-star reviews.
They are. I mean,
there's about 10% 1-star reviews,
right? But
there's 75+% 5-star reviews, and just when you talk about the value, and I'll show the value in a second, that the glycine we use in that 500-pack supply, you're getting 500 grams, actually getting 1,000 grams of glycine.
Oh, wow.
So when you look at, 500 grams of glycine, because each packet contains 1 gram, there's 500 packets. So 500 grams of glycine, that's half a kilo of glycine. Glycine is a very popular ingredient, a supplement ingredient, for folks who want to support healthy blood sugar metabolism. And what better ingredient for a sweetener that doesn't have any sugar, unlike all the others, than an ingredient that supports healthy blood sugar metabolism? So if you just look at the price of glycine on its own, well, here, this is our glycine. So just our glycine on its own, 500 packets, well, that's the Sucress price today, $69.90.
Oh, wow, that's a great price.
For 500 packets on our glycine would be $138.66. There's, let's see, I think we had another chart that had other brands, I think. Well, here we go, this is it. So if we look at other brands, if we compare it to 500 count, these are other brands of glycine. Just the glycine in that 500 count would be over $240, $190, $156. So it gives you a sense that the glycine we put in here is an independently beneficial ingredient that people spend multiple times the cost of the sweetener. And then, of course, the most expensive ingredient in our sweetener is the best stevia in the world. So it's such an added value that you get a sugar replacement, a sugar substitute that uniquely has no sugar. That's a unique statement about our sweetener. And then it uses an amino acid that independently, that amino acid could sell for 2, 3, 4 times the cost of the sweetener itself. So hopefully it's a great value. And it's a great way. It's 0 calories. It's a non-caloric sweetener, and it just contains a small amount of a beneficial amino acid.
Well, and just as an aside, as a fellow foodie, it doesn't have. It'll trick your taste buds, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, it doesn't have kind of that funky, artificial taste. You know what I'm getting? Well, I mean, it really will trick your taste buds.
It's the purified. It's non-GMO. And it's the purified best part of stevia. So stevia, until this ingredient, the only way I used stevia was a stevia leaf, an actual stevia leaf. And that's what this product is made from. A lot of stevia now gets synthesized chemically, but this is from the stevia leaf. So it's a great natural opportunity to have a healthy sweetener, whatever you might add it to. It just makes it taste better, and you only need small amounts, so it's extremely economical as well.
For sure. A little bit goes a long way. Remember, 100 pack, 250 pack, or the 500 pack, little bit goes a long way. Remember, it is, again, you got to moderate what you normally do.
And I didn't look at the reviews recently, but I believe there's almost 130 reviews.
Yep, you're right.
And I think of those reviews, at least,
almost 100, like 80 or 70.
I think 80 or almost 80 or 5-star. If you add 4 and 5-star reviews, it's over 100. So that's an incredible testament. And I think if you just look at 3, 4, and 5-star reviews, you're probably around 110 out of 131
which
reviews.
I have to say, for something, taste is subjective. That's outstanding.
You don't see those kinds of reviews for something that, and especially that usually when you make something better quality, if instead of a gram of glycine, we put a gram of sugar in there like everybody else does, this would be the most incredible product in the world. The fact that we could take out all the sugar, which no one else does, and replace it with an amino acid that's beneficial and helps to support healthy blood sugar levels, and the product is still reviewed at this level, it's just a testament to the quality of our stevia.
It is. I know we've got a lot of things to get to. Remember, see, I like this. I get some of my steps in when Andrew's here. Although, are you going to the gym after this?
Of course I am.
Of course.
Yes.
You know what? I knew that.